Ballad of Anatoly and Blorf. Anatoly Petrov was never supposed to be a hero. In fact, he was barely supposed to be a test pilot. But the Soviet Union had a knack for picking the most expendable candidates for its most dangerous missions. And Anatoly had the unfortunate combination of being both brave and easily replaceable. That's how he found himself strapped inside the Vostok 9, orbiting Earth with only canned borscht and a tape recorder for company. His mission was simple: exist in space long enough to measure how much it drove him insane. But 3 days into his journey, Anatoly saw the light. A blinding, pulsating glow right outside his window, flickering like a neon sign on a seedy Moscow bar. Then came the ship. It was neither sleek nor majestic. It looked more like a gigantic lunchbox covered in corporate logos written in incomprehensible scripts. It shimmered oddly, as if reality itself wasn't quite sure how to display it. Before Anatoly could even consider his options, a pamphlet materialized on his dashboard, written in perfect Russian. Congratulations, you have been hired by the company. Your 20-year contract begins now. Your oxygen supply has been upgraded accordingly. Please report to the garbage sorting unit upon arrival. Have a nice interdimensional day. The light swallowed his craft, and suddenly, Anatoly was no longer in orbit around Earth. He was in a sprawling spaceport that defied all laws of geometry. Signs blinked in colors he couldn't name, and creatures of every shape and size bustled around, chattering in hundreds of alien tongues. That's when he met Blorf. Blorf was the sort of creature that would send most people running for an exorcist. He was skeletal, with elongated limbs that didn't bend the way limbs were supposed to. His face was a grinning skull, with orbs of pure energy where his eyes should have been. But Blorf had a great sense of humor, and when he saw Anatoly struggling with a pile of garbage from a planet whose inhabitants apparently ate nothing but slime, he offered to help. "So," Anatoly asked, as he peeled a sticky residue off his gloves, "how does a guy like you end up here?" Blorf's orbs twinkled with nostalgia. "I was a soul hunter. Good gig too. My people tracked down lost spirits on our plane of existence. But one day I saw the light. Next thing I know, I'm getting surgery to make me corporate compliant. They gave me mass, flesh, lungs. The works. Now here I am, sorting cosmic trash." They became fast friends, bonded by a shared sense of cosmic bewilderment and a deep disdain for slime-based refuse. During breaks, Anatoly would tell Blorf stories of Earth, of oceans, mountains, and most importantly, Mexican food. With food, music, dancing, and the best tacos you could imagine. Blorf was hooked. They spent the next 19 years planning their escape from the company. Well, not an escape, technically. The contract was ironclad. 20 years of service, then you could live anywhere. The company had real estate, and the company had real estate everywhere. Blorf got out first. He set up shop on Pacuna Station, a bustling hub of commerce and chaos. It was named after the first word its founder allegedly said after crash landing there. Oh shit. Fittingly, it was a place where dreams were made and shattered in equal measure. Blorf borrowed money from a landowner named Ruffles, who looked like a small brown dog with antennae and spoke with a voice like gravel in a blender. Despite his cuddly appearance, Ruffles was a shrewd businessman. The loan came with a 200% interest rate, but Blorf was determined. By the time Anatoly finished his contract, Tacos de los Muertos was the most popular food stand on Pacuna. Their menu featured interplanetary delicacies like nebula salsa, quantum guacamole, and space carnitas made from creatures whose home planets no longer existed. They even offered a taco that folded space-time, allowing customers to eat it before they ordered it. Together, they were unstoppable. Blorf became a self-proclaimed ambassador of Mexican culture, celebrating the Day of the Dead with elaborate face paint that made him look even more skeletal than usual. Customers adored him, assuming he was just really committed to the theme. Anatoly would tell stories of Earth as they grilled alien meats and folded tortillas that defied the laws of physics. Blorf listened with rapt attention, his energy eyes flickering with fascination. Sometimes he'd even tear up, although it was hard to tell. given that he didn't have tear ducts. They became legends, known across galaxies for their food and for the peculiar sight of a skeletal being and a Soviet test pilot laughing together behind the grill. They were offered lucrative contracts by cosmic chains, opportunities to franchise on distant moons, and even a cooking show on interdimensional cable. But they refused, content to live out their days on Pacuna Station, feeding the masses and sharing stories. Every year on the Day of the Dead, Anatoly would paint his face to look like Blorf, and they'd drink alien tequila until the stars danced. In those moments, under the neon lights of Pacuna, they were not just employees of the company. They were friends, entrepreneurs, and legends in their own right. And as far as they were concerned, that was the best contract they'd ever signed. Thank you for watching. I am Diego, the shape-shifting llama. Subscribe and leave a like. Now fuck off.